Ooh, what's up, guys, and welcome back. A very strong tournament is being played now in Dubai, and it's called the Global Chess League. This tournament is a league tournament or a team tournament. So every team has six players, and they face each other in, I think, double rounds. I don't know how many rounds actually, but we have totally six teams, and every team has six players. So the team consists of two grandmasters, two male grandmasters, two female grandmasters, one child prodigy, and one icon. Now, what is an icon? I'll let Magnus answer this. So he tweeted this funny tweet that as since he is not the world champion now, he has a new title, which is an icon. So this is given to an elite player like Carson. Anand is playing. He's also an icon. Nepomniachtchi is an icon also. Aronian, Lagrave, even Duda is an icon here. I have also a nice photo for you here. This is Dubov's team. I think Duda here is the icon in this team, not Mamedyarov. I'm not sure about this. Yeah, I think Duda is the icon in this team. And Nihal Sarin maybe is the child prodigy. I also have a photo of Anand and Duda playing. So this is actually from this game. I think this is the opening stage, as you can see. Yeah, I think this is the opening here, or like, yeah, the beginning of the middle game. So now the time format of this tournament is 15 plus 10. So it's rapid, and a win here with the white pieces is given 3 points, whereas if you win with the black pieces, you're awarded 4 points. And the draw is awarded only 1 point to both players. And one more thing. So if, let's say, in this round Anand is playing with the white pieces, then the whole team, the entire team, entire Anand's team plays with the white pieces. So Anand and his team has the white pieces facing Duda's team, which has the black pieces on all boards. And then when they meet again, then Anand's team gets the black pieces and Duda's team gets the white pieces. So the whole team on all boards have the same color, but then they switch when they play the other team again. Okay, so let's check out this game. Anand with the white pieces here against Duda opens here with e4. e5 by Duda, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, the Spanish game, and now knight f6, we have the Berlin defense. And now d3. If you castle here, then knight takes on e4, d4, the knight goes back, bishop takes, d takes, pawn takes, knight here, you take here, king takes. This is quite drawish, and it's not the most ambitious way to play for white. It's totally playable. I think Maxime Vachier-Lagrave always plays this variation, and he's an expert in it. But Anand chooses d3 here. It's the more ambitious way of playing. You just defend your pawn and you say, okay, I want to play a longer game. Bishop c5 by Duda, which is the standard move here, and now bishop takes. D takes, and now castles. You play d takes here. Now, because if the knight takes, so you defend the pawn indirectly by the means of queen d4. Now, the knight is hanging and checkmate is hanging. If you take b takes, then you don't have queen d4 anymore, and I can just win a pawn. So d takes, castles. Now the knight is threatening to take the pawn because queen d4 is no longer a threat. The pawn is defended on f2. So knight f d7. Now knight f d7 looks a bit weird. I mean, you go back, you block your bishop. Other moves are bishop d6 here and queen e7. The philosophy behind knight d7 here is that I want to play f6, cement my pawn, and then go knight f8, and then go knight e6. And from e6, I can jump to d4 or to f4. Knight bd2 by Anand, and now castles by Duda, and now knight c4, developing the knight. And look, white gave up his light square bishop, but he put his pawns on light squares. So the d and e pawn fight for the light squares now. So the pawns make a light square complex. The rook goes to e8, defending this pawn because it was attacked. And now the most common moves here for white are bishop d2, bishop e3, trade this strong bishop, or a4 maybe, cement, just to make b5 less possible here. Anand plays an interesting move, and it's king h1. Now, king h1 here is it's prophylactic, so the bishop is not eyeing the king anymore. If you move your knight, you'll have f4 immediately. So you, in a way, you prepare for f4 in the future. f6, the maneuver we talked about here. And now knight h4, going to f5. Now knight f8. The bishop now protects f5, and then Anand says, okay, I want to go to f5. How do I do it? The other knight goes to e3, and now eyeing the f5 square. Knight g6, let's trade here. You don't want to trade. Now the pawn controls f5, so you don't have knight f5 anymore, and you just help black improve his pawn structure. Maybe the h file could be used later. So knight goes to f5 now, from h to f5, and now bishop takes on e3. This is a new move. Previously, this was played in a game between two international masters, but Duda choose bishop takes. Now, you have three ways of taking. Pause the video and try to think of the best way to take here for white. Now, f takes is playable. You open up the f file. You have now better central control. The knight cannot jump to f4 anymore. But it was not played in the game. Now, the move you don't want to play is bishop takes on e3, because after bishop takes on f5, pawn takes on f5, the knight goes to e7. Now the pawn is attacked. d5 square is now weak, and if you protect this pawn with queen g4, then queen d7 wins the pawn. If you play g4, then you really weakened your king side. So knight takes here by Anand, and now bishop d6, b3. Now you see all the pawns are on light squares here. He gave up his light squared bishop, but he protected the light squares with his pawns. And now queen d5 by Duda. So queen d5 attacking the rook, and yeah, just developing the queen with tempo. I would have played in this position maybe c5 with b5. So this is usually black's plan here, to advance on the queen side. But Duda chooses queen d4, a fine move. Now rook b1, and now rook a d8. So this is his plan. He moves his queen with tempo, and now he brings his rook to the d file. But now bishop b2 comes with tempo. So bishop b2, and now queen d6, and now f3. Anand takes it easy. He's very solid. He controls. Look at this pawn chain. It's all on the light squares. It's controlling the light squares, and now Anand says, okay, I'm very solid, I don't have weaknesses, and I want to play a slow game. c5, Duda wants to open up the queen side. This is the right plan here for black. And now g3, an important move. You take these squares from the knight, and you also prepare h4, h5. You have to play on the king side here. You have to achieve f4, you have to do something on the king side, sorry. The queen side is for black, you have nothing there. So b5, Duda continues with his plan, and now queen e2. Rook d7, and now rook f2. I think h4 here was a bit faster, maybe going for h5 and h6, but rook f2 by Anand. Queen c6, supporting the c4 bush. Now h4 by Anand, c4 by Duda, pawn takes, pawn takes, pawn takes. You cannot just ignore this and let black take. If he takes, then this pawn is weak, and you have to defend it the whole game. So Anand takes. This is a free pawn, but Duda says, okay, I gave you a free pawn, but now you have very bad pawn structure. So queen c5, a nice move. Eyeing the rook indirectly, so if this knight, let's say the knight and the queen moves, then the rook is hanging, and also preparing. This is a very strong move. Knight e7, knight c6, knight d4. So he eyes the d4 square, so there is one more defender for this square, and he also gives the c6 square for his knight to jump to d4. The rook goes to f1, rook e d8, and now bishop c3, controlling the d2 square, stopping rook d2. Now queen a3, infiltrating, and no, before the bishop was defending this square, so the queen could not infiltrate, but now the queen infiltrates, and Anand plays a very strong move here. Rook b3. So he defends this pawn with tactics. So if you take, you lose your queen. So rook b3, and now the queen goes to a6, and now h5. Anand attacks on the king side. The knight goes to e7. Now the knight is going for its maneuver, and now h6. Just softening up the the king side, making it just a bit weaker. Now, if you push the pawn, it looks like a logical move. This pawn is very strong on h6, and now f4 is just too powerful. You open up for this bishop, your dark squares are very weak. You don't want to do this. So knight c6, and now rook goes to e8, e1. Not the best move. Better was rook fb1, and after knight d4, let's say you take, let's say pawn takes, you jump with your knight, and now you have the b file free for you to infiltrate. So Anand plays rook e1, and now the knight jumps. Now you have to take this knight. If you move here to f2, thinking, okay, if he takes my rook, I take with the pawn, and yeah, I have an extra pawn. My pawn structure is very solid, and this file is just, it's controlled. I mean, black has no infiltration. This is correct, but, and the engine agrees actually, white is fine, but you don't take the rook here. You take bishop takes, and now your position is very bad. So let's say you take with the knight, the queen takes. Now the rook is hanging. After the rook is taking, the bishop is hanging. You don't want to do this. So bishop takes, you have to take. Rook takes to keep the file open, and now h takes on g7. Rook d2 first, attacking the queen, and now queen f1. King takes, and now g4 by Anand. A nice move, opening up the dark squares for the queen to infiltrate, and now queen here is an idea. And also maybe knight f5 could be played with opening the g file. Queen a5 by Duda, a mistake. So Duda should have played here. This is an insane idea by the engine. h5. So the engine says h5. If you take here with white, then I go king f7. So I move out of the g file, and now if you play f4, trying to open up this this file in front of my king, I ignore you. I go rook h8. Now you cannot take here because rook takes is very strong, and the rooks are just killing the king. And if this queen comes back somehow, you're getting checkmated. So you have to defend with queen f3, and now I take here. Let's say knight f5. I go back with my rook, and your position is not good here. So Duda does not see it. Both players were very low on time here, and he plays queen a5. And now Anand goes queen g1, the maneuver we talked about, going to g3. King g6, again, not the best move. He should have maybe played h6. You will see why. So after king g6, we have queen g3. Duda takes the pawn. This is a blunder. And now g4. This is very powerful. That's why h6 should have been played. Here Anand says, oh man, Duda, I was crushing world champions when you were a baby. g5. Now you have to take. I mean, if I take, I open up on your king, the rook is coming, you have to take. And now queen takes on e5. The queen goes back, defending the bishop, maybe protecting the king as well. Now a powerful move. f4. Now you have to take, because otherwise I take here. Pawn takes, and now Anand finishes the game. He plays the powerful knight d5. Knight f5 was a faster win, but knight d5 is also completely winning. Duda takes, and after rook g1, Duda resigns. Why? Well, it's checkmate, obviously. If you go back here, then I think this is checkmate also. So you're getting checkmated. So after rook g1, Duda resigned, and yeah, what a game by Anand. This shows you that Anand is still a beast. This is what you should have to be a world champion. So I hope you enjoyed the game. Like, share, subscribe, and comment, and see you in the next video. Bye.